today, when I grew up 20 years ago, my dad was a farmer. The fruit we raised was not the prettiest fruit. Sunspots on it. It looked ugly. It tasted phenomenal. But it wasn't appealing to the eye. It wouldn't sell in the store. You can't find an old May Grand nectarine anywhere anymore. May Grand nectarine had so much acid and so much flavor in it, it was unbelievable. Yet when you took that thing and it juice ran out of your mouth, you knew you had a nectarine. You don't find that hardly anywhere anymore because it didn't sell. It didn't have the appeal. It looked. And so today they've made fruit that is really, really pretty in the store and really eye appealing. Some of the stuff it's just like, nah, it's too much like cardboard for me. But the fact of the matter is, there is certain aspect that is true in that. You want to produce a piece of fruit, and you guys who have been with GIT, Farmers Market, people look at what you have, and they want something that looks nice. Not only looks nice, it's presentable, but it tastes good. But it's like they gravitate toward the pieces that are nice, if you will. So, you want to produce a nice piece of fruit. So when somebody comes out to this field, whether it's you, whether it's the guests that come over here or whatever, they walk through this field and they see that piece of fruit and they go, oh, I want that. Okay, so what does that tell us about who we are? How well should we produce the fruit that we show to the public? Okay, do we produce fruit that is appealing to them? Not only righteous to the Father, but also that has some curb appeal. You know, is our fruit set apart enough that if it was to put into a box of a bunch of other fruit, does our fruit stand out, if you will? You know, now it's going to be up to them to grab it, because that's the one thing that's real interesting is people walk through the fruit, through the field, they have to look at it and reach up and grab it, right? That tree cannot look at you walking through the field and go, take my fruit. Can it? No. That tree can't start a food fight. There is no way that tree is going to sit up there and throw fruit at every one of you and say, take my fruit, it tastes good, have it. No, that fruit, that tree has to produce the best fruit it can. So when you walk by it, you go, oh my goodness, I want that. Think about that in your life. Are you producing enough to present to the public something that when you walk by, they look at it and says, I want that? Because starting a food fight doesn't always work real well. You know, it just doesn't work. So there's some real, this tree can teach all of us some really neat stuff.
You're talking about curb appeal. It's different, obviously. You know, we're not talking about outward appearance, right? Although, you know, it's like even the GIT dress code. I mean, I like the guys in button-down shirts, right? I mean, there's a part of, you know, looking professional and different things like that. And so, I mean, that's not, but that's not all there is. What does Scripture teach us of a leader? What should we be looking for? The fruit of his life. It says,
If he's a servant?
Yeah, if he's a servant. What about even his literal fruit? If you're going to be a leader, what does it say about your children? Your children need to be, I mean, that's literal fruit of a man and a woman. But your children need to be upright and righteous, because you know then he's done a good job. Those are the things that people see, the activities of your life. And it is curb appeal, as Mr. Lefty puts it.
It is.
And people are desperately seeking happiness and joy in their lives. A lot of times they don't know it. But when they see you and they see your good fruit, those things, not necessarily how you look. I mean, you don't want to look like slob either, right? But when they see your good fruit in that way, it does drive them to want to know how you produce that fruit. And I guarantee you, if I'm selling the best fruit, John, you know this, if one farmer's got a particular variety of fruit and he's doing it real well, everybody else, all the other farmers want to know what he's doing. Because in the end, in the world, that makes money. And so it's the same. It's the same spiritually. You know, the balance of all of those things. So yeah.